Okay, so this is going to be kind of a, I guess, faster video. There's literally probably maybe 80% of it was just them sitting in the cafe and talking. Like this, there literally was not a lot in here. I could put up one photo of them just sitting in the cafe and just, you know, talk about the other 20% of stuff that happened outside the cafe. But this is, to me, this seems like they're just trying to buy the, you know, special effects teams or whatever else. Maybe they're, you know, had to redo some stunts or whatever for these final couple episodes coming up. But this just felt like not a filler, but well, in a sense a filler, but a way to just give time to all these other teams to finish up where they have to finish up. I believe, and maybe it's just the service I'm watching it on, but usually around this time is when we get a trailer for the next season at the end. So either I haven't seen it, and, you know, maybe I'll find it on YouTube or whatever, or maybe those early episodes, maybe they need more time for special effects or whatever else. So it's like we're at this period where we're trying to wrap up this series, but I have not looked, but I haven't like seen any like info about the next, like, or I guess like video or trailers or anything for the next series. But I haven't looked too deep into that. But we're really weird. This feels really weird, really different to me. So again, this kind of like a time filler episode. They're basically all it is, and we'll jump into it. You know, we're almost 2 minutes in here. We'll jump into it. But they're just discussing, you know, a alliance. Basically, the Cerebrians, in a sense, kind of are now officially kicked out of being a Cerebrian. Essentially, that's, you know, what's going on here. And they're like, hey, like, we want to join the DonBrothers. In fact, the next episode title is called The 9 DonBrothers. So, you know, they want to become, you know, an official member of the team. And, you know, they're going around talking about how, you know, their perspective on the, you know, the Cerebrians perspective on, you know, them. They're getting into some, you know, verbal fights and whatnot. You know, it's basically, and if you go, you know, if you go in any family house or whatnot around Christmas or Thanksgiving and you get into a verbal fight, that's essentially what this was. It's the end of the year, you have to see all your family again, and you're just shooting shit. You're just talking, and you're getting into arguments. Now this is kind of more lighthearted. Well, and I guess not really lighthearted because they're, you know, still superheroes. They're still fighting people, killing people. Not really killing people, but point is, that's basically what this is. So they're, you know, going around. The brown Cerebrian just flat out goes, "Yeah, I don't want to work with this monkey." The lines in this were just perfect throughout. You know, even Toro, Donred, and Sonai, the blue Cerebrian, even they, at, you know, towards the end of, were starting to get into it, and like, hey, like, you want to disrespect me? You want me? No, we're not doing that. And then, you know, what happens is, you know, as they're all discussing again throughout, they just kind of take turns kind of talking about it. Dom Pink gets a really big section kind of early on, you know, talking about, hey, like, I'm still upset about my Mio. You know, my Mio's still out there. As long as she's okay and happy, like, I'm okay. And one by one, they're all like, hey, she's a bestial. And then, you know, finally, again, you know, Don Blue kind of steps up and says, hey, Toro can't lie, man. He's not lying. Is he dead? Is he on the ground? Is he dead? Is he lying on the ground dead with no pulse? That means he's not lying. So, you know, that kind of finally breaks into, you know, into his mind of, hey, like, I married a bestial. He did a whole gag of him about to kiss the bestial, and then he falls, he kind of faints, and he's out of it for, you know, the middle half of this episode. And, you know, that he had like a big section about you know, Mio. You know, Don Black had a section in here where everyone, the Cerebrians and, you know, all 4 other members find out that he used his points to revive you know, the white Cerebrian. We still have not seen the consequences to that. Now, I know that was only, was that 2 episodes ago? I think it was 2. 2 or 3 episodes ago. It hasn't been that long. But even Kaito in this episode's like, hey, like, reviving someone from the dead is, like, serious consequences. Like, you're gonna, you know, really be affected by this negatively. And, you know, Don Black kind of is just like, you know, everything's okay. I haven't really noticed anything. I don't know. And, you know, so the rest of them are all freaking out, like, why did you revive a Cerebrian? So that comes up in conversation, and then, you know, the Cerebrian Whites kind of, you know, they have this little gag of she breathes out these pink hearts, and then they form thank you, and then they go, you know, go to Don Black, who just turns sideways, crosses his arms, and then, you know, you get the whole, like, Nord thing, you know, you get chilled, and, you know, it breaks apart, and so she stands up and turns away. She's, like, about to cry. She's like, I've been ignored! Yeah, and then again, you know, Toro and Sonai kind of get into it. We see, I mean, really, like, again, the end here, it's set up the end. We see this couple, this woman walks in first, orders, and then, you know, we get back to them kind of talking, and then, you know, a little bit later, we get this guy coming in, and for some reason, and I kind of thought it was the white Cerebrian. They don't state out, you know, what happens here, but the lady that just came in, she can read this guy's thoughts and finds out, like, hey, like, she doesn't, or he doesn't only have eyes for her, and so she kind of flips out, runs away, and so Don Pink gets up off the ground and says, that's right, you get out of here with your stupid romantic issues, get out of here. Screaming at them, you know, as they kind of run out the door, with the guy, you know, chasing after her. And so that basically, you know, that sets up the very end of this episode, which this is the 20% here, which again, it's sprinkled throughout, because after that all happens again in the cafe, we find out, you know, the bosses, the final bosses of the series, the new Cerebrians come in and they're like, hey, we've been pillaging this city for, like, all day, and you guys aren't coming? Like, are you, what's going on here? Like, we're supposed to be the bad guys here. You know, we want to fight you. we want to take you out. And not in a good way. We want to kill you. And so they're explaining, like, hey, like, who gives a shit about you? We're here having a conference because we hate them, but they want to join us. But some of us on this team want them to join us. And so the three, you know, new Cerebrians like, okay, fine, you know what? We're joining on this stupid vote so we can get to our frickin' fight because we want to fight you, idiots. So they're like, okay, we agree. We want them, you know, as a part of your team, so, you know, we can face all of you together. So it ends up being 7-4 at the end. Don Black, who had originally abstained, excuse me, from the voting, you know, he voted, you know, against it after the whole, you know, love incident with, or, you know, the thank you incident with the White Cerebrian. So, you know, he ended up, you know, not agreeing with it. So then what happens is we switch over to the perspective of the, you know, the couple that, you know, ran out. She turns into a Hitachi monster of the week, essentially. He kind of freaks out. He turns into one, too, watching her. So we have this really, and I really love this scene. I thought this was a really well done scene here. We have this scene where she's going after couples. He's going after, you know, couples too, and they're kind of going after couples, but he's chasing her at the same time as they're kind of going around this park, sucking up, sucking up these couples into their body. You know, they get, I think they go to the cube. I forget where they go when they get sucked up, but god damn it. But point is, they're kind of, you know, going around, and, you know, like, she's annoyed with love. He's like, hey, like, just stop it. Like, come on. So, you know, again, because they're, you know, monster of the week, the Hitachi, they're, you know, doing their thing, sucking up people. Oh my god, this is so bad. So, we get a shot back in the cafe where, they're all standing up again, as, you know, they just voted and whatnot. The DonBrothers get teleported away to the park where the, you know, the two monsters of the week are. They're like, why is there two? We've never faced two at the same time before. And then we go back again to the cafe, and the new Cerebrians are like, okay, you know what? This works out perfect. Let's get out there and let's duel. So all 6 Cerebrians are fighting each other, end up in the park too. And then we end the episode with Don Pink getting sucked up by the girl. Everyone's, you know, like, what the heck is going on here? And then Toro starts to go in, fights, no, wait, I think Don Pink gets sucked up by the guy. Jesus Christ! Oh my god! Point is, Don Red gets sucked up by, I think he was sucked up by the girl. And I believe Don Pink was sucked up by the guy. No, I think I have it the other way. I think Don Red was sucked up by the guy, and Don Pink was sucked up by the girl. I'm so sorry. So, you know, the episode ends with Don Red kind of, you know, threw his sword up in the air. It lands, you know, in the ground, and everyone freezes. We end the episode. Everyone's looking at the sword like, did that just happen? Did he just get sucked in? So yeah, that's, again, it wasn't a lot. You know, we're 11 minutes in. I kind of, you know, extended it really, you know, far out here. But that's, again, it was 90, well, not 90, but 80% talking, and then 20%, again, we had little scenes throughout, the episode where, again, the Cerebrians, the new boss Cerebrians, I'm just gonna call them, were going around, you know, taking people through the doors, kind of, you know, trapping them again in the pocket dimension. So yeah, that's basically all that happened. We're gonna get next week, Toro's gonna instantly come back again, so this is the second time. Last week it happened, and then 2 episodes later it's happening again, where it's just gonna instantly come back out of the monster again. There's a new shiny gold Megazord in the trailer. Oh, I can't wait for this. So, scattered throughout the trailer, we have the Sixth Ranger who, he was, you know, stated by Toro in this episode here of, hey, like, he's not coming, he's on his own, he's got a lot to think about right now. In this trailer, they're making it seem like the Tiger Demon, I call it the Tiger Demon, whatever, you know, basically the Tiger, Tiger Demon that's kind of in his body. It's almost like they're going to fuse together and going to kind of become like one being. We see shots of, I don't think we see their faces, but basically they're doing Ring Around the Rosie, around him, around the Sixth Ranger, a bunch of his imaginary friends. We have this shot where his hair's kind of like slicked back, and he gives this like big smirk. So I'm guessing that's going to end the episode. Well, maybe not, because we do see his Megazord at the end of the fighting 2 alongside. So I can't wait for this. I seriously can't wait to see what happens with the Sixth Ranger next episode. I hope they're not going to, but I would love if they focused on him. Like, next episode was his, kind of wrap up a lot of his plot points. Again, they're not going to, because, again, you got to take care of Don Red, get him back out of the monster, Don Pink out of the monster, too. You know, they're going to start fighting the, you know, the Cerebrians again. So, you know, I would love, and again, we still have, 3 episodes left, so maybe there's still a possibility where one of them could be, you know, wrapping up the Sixth Ranger story, but I would absolutely, oh, you know what, they could do the points. Maybe he makes the people real with the, ooh, obviously, we're going on too long here, but, I can't wait to see what happens with the Sixth Ranger next episode. And yeah, it's gonna, again, my assumption is this episode was just, hey, let's give the, you know, all these other people, again, maybe if they had to redo stunts or something, or touch up some CGI or whatever, which, we'll talk about the CGI. I'll do a whole recap at the, you know, post, DonBrothers, because I still don't know if I'm going to do the next series yet. I haven't really thought about that yet. But we'll talk about the, you know, CGI as a whole. I thought it's been pretty good, throughout the season here, so, at least, again, it's a TV production, so you're not going to get Avengers Endgame level style of CGI here. But I thought, you know, that it was done really well. I thought the Rangers were done really well. So yeah, let me know down below thoughts on this episode. Again, it's really just nothing, but I have a feeling we're going to find out something later on in these next couple of episodes, and that's why we had real nothing here. So, for now, like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.